Colby Covington versus Joaquin Buckley. I actually like this fight a lot. And there is a handful of other fun fights on this card, kind of a legends fight in Cub Swanson, Billy Q. We have Manel Kape, Bruno Silva. That's going to be a big one at flyweight. When we're talking about contenders for Alexander Pantoja, Manel Kape's coming off a loss to Muhammad Mokaev, but that was a pretty boring fight. Bruno Silva's streaking himself. Looks like he's won 4 in a row. So big fight there, drumming up some new business at flyweight. Love to see that. Adrian Yanez is fighting on this card. We got Navajo Sterling. He's coming off the Contender Series. That's another guy out of City Kickboxing, I do believe. I'm pretty sure he had a pretty quick knockout in the Contender Series. I think he was one of the better fighters out of that season. Yeah, decent card overall. A nice fight night. We're fighting in Tampa, so we don't have to, we're getting a better fight card than we would if it was a Apex card to end the year. But Colby Covington, Joaquin Buckley, some serious stakes here. We talked about the state of 170. It is hot right now, red hot. And either of these guys could catapult themselves back into a title. Like, swear to God, Colby, for a guy that's got 3 chances, 2 with Kamaru, 1 with Leon, if he takes out one of these up-and-comers, and no disrespect to Joaquin Buckley, but I don't think it's going to do the trick, but if he did fight like an Ian Gary or a Jack Della Maddalena and starch them, the Bilal matchup's new. I don't think Colby in his career has fought Bilal Muhammad. I could be wrong. Let me check real quick. No, he has not fought Bilal Muhammad. So the Bilal matchup is new. And if he can go through Joaquin Buckley and then take out like Ian Gary or a Jack Della Maddalena or a Carlos Prates, hard to deny the guy. That being said, this dude's fought like once a year since 2020. I mean, if we're looking back at his fights, it literally is Leon Edwards, his last fight, December of 2023. So it's almost going to be a year since that fight. Then he fought Jorge Masvidal in March of 2022. Usman, November 6th of 2021. Woodley in 2020. And then Usman, the first fight in 2019. So since 2019, he's fought 5 times. Joaquin Buckley's fought 15 in the same time frame. 15 times. Entered the UFC and fought 15 times since in the same time frame that Colby's fought 5. So the level of activity I worry about for Colby, because the last fight we saw him with Leon, he did not look good. And I know post-fight he was saying something about ACL, MCL, something in the knee. But we didn't see him on the pressure. We didn't really see his hands go at all. He got out-wrestled. He had a moment in the last 3 rounds where Leon was jumping submissions that he got on top and kind of did some work, but it really wasn't close. I mean, 49-46 across all 3 judges' scorecards. He did not look great. So it's hard to say that he's going to look good this time, because it's been another year. It's not like there's nothing to erase that memory of him fighting Leon. The Jorge Masvidal fight was not very good. He always, credit to him, he does have fun fights with Kamaru Usman, but Joaquin's coming off of a pretty nasty knockout. A pretty nasty knockout of Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. Did it in the 3rd round, did it viciously. Really, one shot, kind of jumped in like Mike Tyson, came off his feet, overhand, slept him. And that was... In that fight, I would say a majority of it was standing too, which is pretty impressive when you think about Wonderboy Thompson and how athletic and skilled he is on the feet. I mean, we had 2 takedowns in round 1, 2 takedowns in round 2, 0 in round 3, but that ended pretty quickly. But Stephen Wonderboy didn't spend a lot of time on the ground. It wasn't like he got on the ground and got dominated there. most of this fight was on the feet. And at a super high pace, too. I just rewatched it yesterday. It was a super high pace. So not only do I think Joaquin is just overall, he's younger, he's going to be faster, he's more powerful than Colby Covington. I think at this point in the career, he might just be the better fighter. I mean, he's explosive. I mean, these weren't normal takedowns. These were pick up and slams. This wasn't a normal knockout. This was a leapfrog off his feet into Wonderboy's face. I just think he's more powerful. He's faster. I don't know if Colby's going to have anything for him, especially if he shows up like he did against Leon, where it's very much fighting off his back foot, wasn't really forcing the pace. And even if he does, the pace that Wonderboy and Joaquin fought at was as high as any. Joaquin's definitely got a gas tank on him. So I'm leaning, if you can't tell already, I'm leaning Buckley in this fight. But I don't hate it if Colby wins. I think, historically, just looking at the two, you'd say, oh, Colby would win this fight. But I just think at the time of the career they're at, Buckley's probably as confident as he can be. He's won 5 straight. I mean, he took out Vicente Luque, Alex Morono, Rizaboev. I don't even know how to say this guy's name. Nursulatan Rizabaev. And also was at one point fighting at 185. So he's fighting at a lower weight class, which probably feels like the right weight class because he's a shorter guy. He's not a big dude. But he doesn't have to deal with the range of Wonderboy Thompson. I think he's going to be able to get to Colby a lot easier than he did. And I just think that he'll be able to either impose his own wrestling or neutralize Colby's wrestling. I don't think that Colby's going to be able to hold him just with how explosive Joaquin is. And I think it's going to be trouble on the feet. I wouldn't be surprised. Colby's got a good chin. I wouldn't be surprised if it goes the distance. But I also would not be surprised if, I don't think knockout. I don't think clean knockout, but I would say ground and pound TKO. I could see that happening for Joaquin Buckley. So think it's going to be Joaquin, but a decent little matchup. I think it's a tough step up for him, just with the skills that Colby does have. He definitely held the advantage over Wonderboy when it came to wrestling, but I lied. I don't think it's going to be a hard fight. I was trying to make it seem like it was going to be a hard fight, and I could be dead wrong. But I think he's going to run through Colby Covington. I think he's going to run through Colby. 4th round, ground and pound. That's my call. We're getting new blood at 170. I'm telling you, it's heating up. We're getting new blood at 170.